How have New Zealand's driving ads show and tell us that New Zealand's society are becoming less racist and more comedic over the years? To see the comparison over the years, and how the drinking ads have become less tragic and less racist, for this we will look at Free Text, Drunk Uncle, Bloody Legend, and NZTA Local Legends. And I'll explain why, in my opinion, going with the comedic and non-racist drinking ads are more effective. Drunk Uncle. Drunk Uncle was put on YouTube on April 6, 2008. The main character, known as the Drunk Uncle, is a brown middle-aged man, and is shown wearing the color yellow, which can symbolize happiness, positivity, and enlightenment. And in the first half he is showing these emotions, but later as he keeps drinking he becomes less stable and everyone are looking at him strangely as he drinks more and more. And as he swings his nephew for a second time, people are looking at him worried and scared that the nephew will get hurt. And as he continues to swing the nephew, he slams him into the cabinet. The scene quickly changes, now being more serious, and the drunk uncle is then isolated, being pushed away by his friends and family, as he gets told to get out. And another meaning for this yellow is deceit and cowardness. He shows deceit when he goes to swing the nephew for a second time, as he tries to deceive everyone that he is not drunk, thus swinging the nephew, and by doing this, he shows cowardness as he is leaving. We get a shaken view of him walking while crying. This is when we see his true self, a man who is unstable because of his drinking. And he cries knowing that if he controlled his drinking, this wouldn't happen. As if the man is trying to escape from reality. As in the last 10 seconds of this ad, as the man is walking away from the light near a field, there's the light shining from above him onto him, until the screen slowly fades to black, showing the words, "It's not drinking, it's how we are drinking." The ad uses tragedy, which says that New Zealand society are bad drinkers, and that New Zealand society are dangerous drinkers, and that people shouldn't be around us. With the meaning of the ad being shown to us at the end, it makes more sense with the colours from joy to cowardness as the man abused the alcohol. This ad is telling us that this mouldy man was abusing alcohol, and indeed he was. But why was he the only one? And why does it have to be the mouldy man, when in reality European men are the ones who abuse alcohol more than mouldy men by 5%? Why does the mouldy man take the fall? Well, because we are in New Zealand, and even though it's actually a lie and racist, they do it because this is New Zealand and the main population are mouldy people. And that once mouldy men are the ones who abuse alcohol and cause harm. In conclusion, I have an oppositional reading of this ad, as it's implying that mouldy men can't control their drinking, and that in New Zealand the only people who get drunk are the mouldy people, because they abuse drinking, but statistically it is the Europeans that are more intoxicated than the mouldy men. So to make this ad more effective, they could show drunk European men as well. Or maybe a whole mix of different coloured men. Bloody Legend, directed by Steve Allison, was put on YouTube on October 26, 2011. Using the backlash from graphic and tragic story-based ads, Bloody Legend instead goes for a comedic approach. And when this ad first came out, Ghost Chips was already becoming a massive joke in New Zealand, and could be seen as a meme. As many people would say the famous line. And there is even a Ghost Chips song found on YouTube. So already, the Bloody Legend ad was having major success. The cast in Bloody Legend are all mouldy and mainly men, already implying that women aren't that important, or telling us that women don't abuse alcohol and that men are the only ones that abuse drinking. If that were the case, then they are right, as women statistically abuse less alcohol than men. For the costumes of Bloody Legend, they went for a sort of a retro look, which could be to make their appearances more comedic and just for laughs. Now, comparing Bloody Legend to the Drunk Uncle ad, Bloody Legend is a lot more comedic when compared to the Drunk Uncle tragedy ad. Like, for example, the director Steve Allison uses quick cuts like these.
I should say something, but I could look dumb in front of Monique. Bro, Monique says you're dumb, but if he crashes, I'll have to live with his family.
Puzzle time.
And if he dies, Ghost George will haunt me forever.
Grab a chip. Want a chip?
You know I can't grab your ghost chips. Go away.
Spoon.
It uses humor in these scenes to make a point in a comedic way. And then comes the climax when George asks the main guy,
What are you doing, bro? Oh, I've been internalizing a really complicated situation in my head.
What are you on about?
I don't think you should drive. Nah, you're too drunk, bro. Just crash here.
when he says, I've been internalizing a really complicated situation in my head. This makes Māori seem smart as they use big words like internalizing, which is good as it makes the New Zealand society smart, especially the Māori people. And this ad tells us that Māori people in New Zealand are good at analysing a situation and can think of a way to make sure everyone is safe and to help those who are abusing alcohol. And that New Zealand society, they prevent the abuse of alcohol, and therefore they are bloody legends. Compare this to the Drunk Uncle ad. The New Zealand society now know how and will prevent the cause of tragedy. Now for this ad, I have a negotiated reading. I find that the Bloody Legend ad presents its message much better and clearer with the comedy. And I think it's really effective, because as of right now, it is still stuck in my head, and personally I can remember this whole ad clearly and can say all the lines word for word. And using comedy in the ads also tells people that the New Zealand society are quite funny and they have each other's backs. But once again, I feel like it shouldn't just have Māori/brown men, because European men have a higher percentage of abusing alcohol by 5%. So to make this ad more effective and true to society, they should change the roles and have maybe European men intoxicated or a group of different nationalities. NZTA Local Legends, made by Clemenger BBDO Creative, Matt Dalton and Mike Grofer, was put on YouTube on April 14, 2015. Something that is different about this ad is that it's focused on white men. In fact, the whole cast is white, as there are no women present in this ad. This tells us that men are the main ones that drink dangerously, and which is true, and that they are mainly European, which is also true in this ad. So far, this ad is being true to the New Zealand society. And like the Bloody Legend ad, this ad uses comedy to tell its point. Like these scenes here.
Oh, whatever, mate. I've only had a couple. No. It's too late now because, I've spoken to you and I know your mum. So that means our fates are aligned. Our futures are intricately woven together. I mean, you get into that car and you get yourself killed or you kill someone else, well, I become part of it too.
How?
Well, it's like my balls are in your hands.
What?
Now, Kev tries to persuade them not to drive, to no prevail. It isn't until Barry tells the young men that he will drive them, to which they agree. Now, even though Kev did not persuade them, if he hadn't tried to persuade them, and Barry just offered to drive them, the young men most likely wouldn't have let Barry drive them. And at the end of the ad, the word legend comes up, telling us that both of the old men, Kev and Barry, are legends, and together they made sure the young man wouldn't get hurt. Now this ad shows New Zealand society as a caring society. We look out for each other, and it doesn't matter of our age. If we can, we will stop others from making bad and dangerous decisions. Now, in conclusion, I have a negotiated reading of this ad, as I thought the story and comedy was done nicely to show and tell the message. But my one problem would be that it was an only white cast, and like how the Bloody Legend ad only having a Māori cast, it makes it seem like New Zealand only look out for those of the same colour. So whites look out for whites and black look out for blacks, which shows racism in a way, and which doesn't represent New Zealand's society properly and can damage our image. Over time, New Zealand drinking ads have become less tragic and more comedic, which is good because it helps deliver the message better, like the line, "I have been internalizing a really complicated situation. Even now I can remember that line, and it still makes me smile." And everyone else that I know can remember that ad, and they just think it's the funniest thing. Using comedy over tragedy was also good, because when Drunk Uncle came out, it got a lot of backlash compared to Bloody Legend, which became a massive joke of ghost chips and became nationally famous. And the ads have now gotten their facts right, as Europeans drink 5% more dangerously than Māoris. The ads have always been right with men drinking more dangerously than women, as men have a 83% of abusive drinking compared to women who have 17%. Using comedy has made a good representation on New Zealand society, with New Zealand society preventing abuse of alcohol more, but now they just need a variety of colour, because it isn't just Māori and Europeans in New Zealand. They need to show other colours helping other colours as well, so blacks helping whites to prevent them from abusing their drinking, to make the ads seem less racist and show that New Zealanders have respect for each other and that it doesn't matter the colour of your skin.